It seems as if every part of the old world has a theory of how they got to the new world before Columbus. Last time we discussed those theories that have the highest chance of being true, and now we will go into the more outlandish ones. This part will focus on the hypothetical travelers coming from China and use them as a glimpse into why we develop these theories, even if they aren't likely to be true. There are a few theories that Chinese explorers, refugees, and missionaries made it to the American coast. Why China? Well, if you look at Europe and China on the eve of the Age of Exploration, you actually see a much more even world resource-wise than we might think today. China's lack of participation in the colony game was a political one and not one of capability. They had all the inventions you need to make a transoceanic trip before Europe. It was the Ming Dynasty's cloistered politics that kept them out of the game. Before this inward focus, however, there was Cheng He. This eunuch explorer actually did go on a large international exploratory voyage, just in the wrong direction. Instead of discovering America, he took a fleet across the Indian Ocean trade routes and got as far as Africa. Given how amazing this was in Chinese history, it was not surprising that he garnered theories that he had also made it on a trans-Pacific trip to the Americas. This turned out to be a forgery, but speaks to the great legend this explorer built. Equally legendary is the story of Hua Shan and the mysterious land of Fusang. Hua Shan was a 5th century Buddhist missionary who described a mulberry tree of life in the Far East. It was a land of plentiful fruit, gold and silver, and peaceful tribal people. So where was Fusang? Some think it was Japan, but a few scholars, when analyzing the distance Hua Shan claims he traveled, suspects he landed in either California or British Columbia. There are a few problematic details, like the milking of deer and the existence of horses, but it does explain that the navigation details of Hua Shan's travels. In Mexico, endless theories try to uncover alternative origins to the Olmec civilization. The reason is because their art is strange. They like to make these ultra-realistic stone faces. This is not only different from other native civilizations, but also these faces don't look like the Native Americans we're familiar with. Some claim that these faces look African or Chinese. While Mesoamerican scholars call this reaching at best and racist at worst, these theories do draw attention to the very peculiar art going on in this particular civilization. Asia was in many ways the birthplace of civilization, and while we think of contact as coming from the Atlantic, we may have had our first visitors after the closing of the Bering Strait come from the Pacific. Truth of these theories aside, they show that in the deep history of thousands of years and archaeological evidence, we don't know as much as many would be inclined to think. Discussing events in times and places without writing results in eras of the past with a lot of wiggle room and opportunities to upend all we know with a single discovery. Tune in next time when we investigate theories of explorers coming from the rest of Asia who beat the increasingly tardy Columbus. What do you think about these theories? Let us know about it down below, and for the next part, be sure to subscribe for more Step Back.